live on the set. Welcome to the Bayou, a place where legends are born and many have witnessed them. From Coach Dale to Shaq, Joe and Jaden to Eddie Kennison. You come to Death Valley or P-Mac, expect that voodoo. Top speed like it's 4-2, where nobody's catching Bluetooth. Represent the Chuck and WM no matter what. From Gosport to a legend, that's what's up.
Welcome to the another edition of Go-To Legends podcast, and just a refresher from last week. We had our good friend Kevin Falk. So make sure you go in and you subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, share on all of the social media platforms to all of your family and friends and coworkers and aunts and uncles and everyone that you come in contact with. But today, I have a special friend, and I went to get some information from some of our friends and sisters and brothers and teammates.
Okay.
And I find this young lady probably the most decorated athlete in all sports ever to come out of LSU. And I haven't done a lot of research, but ladies and gentlemen, our guest today, Miss Danyel Mitchell Ruffin.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for
Okay.
coming on, and thanks for, sharing your time with us here at Go-To Legends. And Danyel, this is just an opportunity for us to catch up. It's been a while. I've seen you like over the last couple years in and around Baton Rouge. And for us just to be able to catch up on life, and we want to hear, the entire experience of who you are as a young lady, where you began your career from a youthful age. I know I started like when I was 7 or 8 years old. So
wow.
We'll dig into all of that.
Okay.
And figure out the process of all of that and where you are now. But before I let you say something, I have to read some, if not all, of this beautiful bio that you have. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll just start. She sent this to me, and I'm still in awe of what this is and all of the accomplishments that are on this bio. And you guys be patient with me because it's pretty fascinating.
It's a lot.
So it's a lot. That just shows you your competitive nature and the things that you accomplished in your career. So first and foremost, Southeastern Conference Championship Indoor, shot put champion in 1992, 93, and 1994. Southeastern Conference Championship Outdoor, shot put in 91, 1992, 1993, and 1994. Danyel is listed as number 6 on LSU's women most career Southeastern Conference title wins. 3 indoor, 6 outdoor, total of 9 championships. Just that Penn Relay is probably one of my favorite places to run and all of that fun stuff. But Penn Relay's women's university champion in the shot put in 1992. Discus, 1993, 1994. Texas Relays champion, another relay that we enjoyed going to. 1994 champion in the discus. The NCAA Indoor Championship, 1993 shot put champion. NCAA Outdoor Championships, 1993 discus, 1994 discus. 10 NCAA All-American. 3 indoor shot put, 1992, 93, and 94. 3 outdoor shot put championships, 1992, 93, 94. 4 outdoor discus championships, 1991, 1992, 93, and 94. NCAA championship as a team, right? Because every year that I was here, y'all won indoor and outdoor.
Yeah.
So 7 LSU championship teams, 4 NCAA outdoor team championships, 1991, 92, 93, 94. 3 NCAA indoor team championships, 1991, 92, and 93. She's a LSU Tigers letter winner for 1991 through 1994. And she's the LSU school record holder in 1994 in the discus and number 2 in the shot put. Indoor, she is still ranked number 2 shot put indoor.
Yeah, that record held for 25 years.
Wow. And I'm not even done.
Right.
I'm not done. Ladies and gentlemen, understand when I say I believe the most decorated athlete, not just female athlete, but athlete. That's male and female. And if you have some other information out there that I'm wrong about, please send it to me. I love to read it. But the high school record holder in the shot put from Vallejo High School in Vallejo, California in 1990. In 1990, you were the discus high school champion from Vallejo High School. Inducted into the Vallejo Sports Hall of Fame in 2014. And might I add, was just inducted into the LSU Hall of Fame in 2023. Yep. I'm not done yet. Y'all think I'm playing. Y'all think I'm playing. U.S. rankings. In the U.S. ranks, you ranked in 3 years in the discus and 2 years in the shot put. You ranked in U.S. ranked discus in 1993, 1994, 1995, and U.S. ranked in shot put in 1993 and 1994. Now, United States team. Not only did you leave LSU, you went on and represented our country. Ladies and gentlemen, she represented our country in the 1995 World Championship team in Sweden in the discus. In 1995, the World University Games in Japan. Yes. Ooh, if I continue reading, boy, this is gonna be our whole hour. You're not gonna have anything to say. But ladies and gentlemen, like I mentioned before, and I'll argue this until someone proves me different. The most decorated athlete ever to come out of LSU, Miss Danyel Mitchell Ruffin.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wow. So all of this right now, reading that, hearing me read that. I know you sent it to me. You've probably read it. Hearing me read that, what does that make you feel like?
Man, it just makes me feel like I was busy. It's a lot. But as you're going through the years, you don't really know how the titles just add up. You're part of the team. You just do what you have to do, what they told you to come and do, what they signed you up to do.
Yeah.
You just do it, and then at the end of the day, when you look back, you look at the accomplishments and you're like, wow, and a couple of those really, really stand out, down to the wire and things like that. But man, when you look back in that 4-year span that I was at LSU, a lot was going on.
Yeah.
I was on a team of great men and women, right? And there was a certain level of excellence. I talked about that at the Hall of Fame induction. When you step on that field and you're amongst great and you step into a legacy, you step into that era where every year LSU is just winning, just winning. You don't want to be that person on that team or that era where you're not winning, right?
That's right.
It's like we was winning before you got here, right? So when you step on that field, there is just a certain expectation that you do your best.
That's right.
At all costs.
That's
You just do your best. You go out there and you show up. If you don't get it this time, you get it the next time.
That's right.
There's no quitting.
But we always had the teammates that said
always had a team.
If it didn't work out, there was always there to hold you up.
Yes.
And obviously hold you accountable. All right, it didn't work out this time, but let's go back to the drawing board. Let's get this thing fixed.
Our team was not shy.
That's right.
And they would call you out, but also encourage you to do better.
That's right.
Encourage you. The long practices, in the 100+ degree weather, and people are out there with you.
Yeah.
Want to see you do great, right? Want to see you succeed.
That's right.
And that's one of the things I really liked about LSU. We were a family. Not only were we a team, we were a family.
Yeah.
And we encourage each other cross sports, football to track.
That's right.
It was just a family. We took everybody. If you were LSU, you just LSU. You
Wow.
just come and do your part.
So before LSU, I want to go back
Okay.
to your early childhood competitive nature. I started playing sports when I was 7 or 8 years old and found my passion for sports at that age. At what age did Danyel Mitchell start and find that true love for the sport?
So actually, it was around that age. Actually, I started in soccer, if you can believe it. I was a soccer player. Yeah. I started in soccer.
That does not surprise me at all.
You know, running up and down the field. And then I moved to karate. Did karate a couple years in my youth.
I know Mr. Ruffin, he better look out. I don't know if you know that or not, but I'm going to claim that you're a black belt, so he better make sure he don't mess
a green
around.
A green belt. In karate. And then from karate, I went to track and field. And surprisingly, I was not throwing, you know, at that age. I was younger.
Right.
And so I was running. I did run it. And then at some point, I just like, you know, this running thing is just, it's not for me. It's not my passion.
One of our teammates did say you were just an honorary sprinter, but I'll tell you who later. But yeah, you
used to get us out there, right? And then from track in middle school, I went to cheerleading. Actually, I was a cheerleader.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I did cheer a couple of years. And when I got to high school, my sister actually did shot put and discus, right? At our high school. And so our coach, when I got to high school, he was like, don't you want to come throw? I'm like, no, I don't want to come throw. Don't you want to come throw shot put? And so I got kind of tired of him asking me to come and throw shot put and discus, Coach Mike Wilson at Vallejo High. And I did come out there in the 10th grade. So I didn't start early. I started in the 10th grade. Won some meets and not really, just kind of natural talent, right? In high school back then, there wasn't a lot of, you don't go to the weight room. We weren't doing sprints. We weren't doing any of that stuff. We go out there, we stretch, we throw, right? And so it just came naturally in high school.
So through high school, obviously we read some of your accomplishments in high school. So you get to your senior year of high school and you potentially start getting letters from universities about scholarships, or maybe not. I don't know. Take us through that process from high school, your senior year in high school, and finding your way to LSU.
So surprisingly, I didn't get a lot of letters because I was the number 3 person in California. There were 2 girls at the time that was always state champions back to back, always. And they were going to UCLA. So I didn't get heavily recruited out of high school. There was a couple of schools that showed some interest, but LSU came about maybe 3 weeks before school started.
Wow.
And one of the coaches reached out to my coach and was just like, hey, you know, we see her, follow her throughout California. I know their top 2, 1 and 2 are going to UCLA, but we wanted her to come down and take a visit to Baton Rouge. So I was like, okay, where's Baton Rouge? Where is that?
You didn't know where Baton Rouge?
I heard of it because of Southern University, right? But as far as, I've never been out of the state of California at this time. Never. And so I said, well, let me go down to Baton, right? Baton Rouge. And went on down, and 3 weeks before school started, I just remember it was just so hot. It was so hot and it was so humid, and it was like, what is this weather? What is going on? You know, you had the evening showers and everything, but everybody was so nice. You know, and during my recruiting trip, we went around and talked about the track, and it was, you know, I saw people out here working out, and I'm like, that's your throwers out there running? That's your, you know, they're out there jumping, and, you know, so I'm looking at this team, and I'm now understand why they are number one, why they are number one every year. And so I did have an offer from Cal Northridge, and that was kind of where I thought I was going to go, was close to home, you know, but once I came down here to Baton Rouge and just saw the team and the excellence and just all the awards and things on the wall, I just was like, why would you not want to go to number one?
That's
you know, if there's an opportunity for you to come here and this is what you want to do, you need to make your way to Baton Rouge.
And you had, at that point, you probably never had gumbo and crawfish and jambalaya and etouffee. And
none.
Come here for a recruiting visit, and it wasn't about them rewards. You was thinking about that gumbo and the crawfish. But no, that's awesome. That's a great story, because I know in a lot of instances when you are and have those accomplishments in high school the way you did, that you would get noticed by way more schools to have you come in. But, and I think at the time when you were being recruited, was Pat Henry the head coach at the time?
Pat was the head coach.
And that just speaks volumes in what I know about Pat Henry, because obviously he was my coach, well, both of our coaches while we were here. But it speaks volumes about how he goes out and he tries to find, those diamonds in the rough. And he found Danyel Mitchell, that diamond in the rough, to come and be a part of everything that you accomplished here at LSU. So you get to LSU, we win some titles, win some national championships, indoors, outdoors. What's one of your most memorable moments being a Lady Tiger here on the track team?
I think one of my I have two most memorable moments. My first NCAA outdoor discus in Oregon. If you top 8, you're All-American automatically. And I just remember just being on that stage, and that was in my freshman year. And not a lot of freshmen, make it to the big meet, right, on your first year. And we had a couple freshmen out there in Oregon, and I just remember looking around the stadium. Oregon is track.
Right.
When you think of Eugene, Oregon, you think of track and field.
Right.
And just going, wow, I'm out here, and our AD at the time was out there. Like, LSU was represented out in Oregon. And I just remember saying, I'm an All-American. Like that was my first, I'm an All-American. Like I'm out here representing LSU, and I've made an All-American in my freshman year. And that was really one of the big standouts, is like, man, if I could do it my freshman year, I could definitely do it my sophomore, junior, senior year. So that kind of set the stage for me and a standard for me that I chased after every time I went out there. I wanted to be back on that stage again.
That's right.
I wanted to be.
Wow.
So that was one. And then the second one was indoor shot put. I remember I probably was in 5th place, and it was the last throw. And I didn't know what was going on, what was going wrong. And I'm looking up in the stands, because they're coaching you from the stands. You don't have a coach right there on the sideline. They're coaching you from the stands. I'm trying to read the body language and do this, and I just said, you know what? This is my last throw. I'm going to go for broke. Whatever it is, whatever happens, I'm just going to do it.
Right.
Because I can kind of understand what they're talking about. People waving up and down in the stand to do this and that. And I just went out there and I just said, you know what? This is it. I'm going to give it everything I have. I'm going to put it all on the line. And I threw that shot put, and that throw right there won me the NCAA shot put indoor championship.
Wow.
And I remember Pat Henry saying, you know what? We knew you were going to score points, but we didn't count on that 10 points.
What?
We've sealed the deal with the indoor championship.
The mindset.
We've sealed it. Our team won that championship.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, when you think of just those moments, because I hear everything that you just said, and you were probably so relaxed because there were really no pressure. You were just like, this is just what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And you ended up obviously winning that indoor championship. That is fantastic. Yeah. Wow. So LSU, you're coming to the end of your career at LSU. Oh, before I move on, I did talk to our good friend and sister Dee Hill, and I asked her to give me the most memorable thing that she had about you as a person and as a teammate. And here's what she said. She said that every time while we were on the team at LSU, and every outing that we had outside of the track, whether it was a barbecue, whether it was a get-together, where it was a team, something, or someone just called someone to do something, sprinters are a group of people that are a group of people, right? Wide receivers are divas in their own right there. But in particular, you made sure that the throwers, the jumpers, and everybody else that was in the field was also always included in those various get-togethers. And she said that it didn't matter where, what, who, but you always brought everybody together, not just one group of people. And she said your heart was, and always has been, the heart of gold, because you brought teammates together. And that, my sister, is a heart of a champion, and more importantly, a heart of a best friend. That's what she said.
That was nice. That was nice. I considered myself the bridge, right? The bridge between the track and the field.
Yeah.
because I had roommates that were track, but I was also part of the field. And so sometimes there is a divide between track and field, even though you're on the same team. Everybody's in their own sport.
That's right.
But I kind of was the bridge.
Yeah.
I would consider myself being part of a bridge.
Wow. And that is it. Yeah. That is it, the bridge. All right, so you come into the end of your career at LSU, and something is brewing up. You know, you want to go to the next step. You want to, you know, throw in the Olympics. You want to throw for the USA team. You want to go do something. So from LSU to your after LSU career into the USA teams and all of that fun stuff, take us through that process and how you actually got on the USA team.
So every year there's a team, right? Whether it's finishing LSU or just finishing the season, there is a team, depending on if it's Olympic year, World Championship year, U.S. Games, it's always a team. And so every year after our competition is over, we would go and go to U.S. trials and try to compete for that team. And so as I ended my LSU journey, it just felt like that was just the natural step to try and compete for USA and maybe try that. But then I just realized there was no spotlight for field events at the time. So I did do the Fukuoka, Japan. I did the World University Games where we got to see all of the collegiates that we competed against.
I'm glad you said Fukuoka because I could not pronounce it.
Fukuoka, Japan, right? And it was great because all of the collegiates that we competed against all year long, your top two collegiates in that sport were on the team. So we were all on the USA team. Right. And we've seen them all year long, right? But now we're on the same team. So you had your SEC, you had everybody. Right. And then the World University Games that was in Sweden, it was because I was at the USA trials and I placed in the top 3, so I was able to get on that. Team in the discus. So I did both events in Japan and I did the discus in Sweden. But then I soon realized after you come back and now you have to work out and you have to train on your own, right? You know, you're not under your coaches at LSU. You're not training because you have a scholarship and you're on a team. It's an individual sport. So at some point soon after, I realized that maybe I don't want to do this as much as I did at LSU. Right. So that didn't last long, but I was able to experience that, and that was a great experience. And I'm better for it because now I know what type of dedication and hard work that it took to do that. And kudos to those athletes that get out there beyond college, right? And they come out there and they work out every day. And they're doing it for themselves, and they're doing it because this is a passion of theirs, and this is what they want to do. And that's hard work. That's really, really hard work when you're not under college and university and things like that, right. And you have to find your ways to track meets and travel on your own and things like that. I mean, it's a job.
Yeah. Well, really back then we didn't have NIL, and it was harder to get sponsorships back then.
Exactly.
So, man, I can definitely understand that. So in your post LSU career, you go in, you're part of these teams outside of the track and field within the scope of, all of the other athletes from America. I don't know if they have I know in Olympics you have Olympic Village, right? And they build around the Olympic Village. Does the U.S. other teams, do they have villages? And so they do have villages. So one of the best memories of either one of those, Japan or Sweden, that you can remember being a part of, whether it was a group conversation, whatever, but what is the most memorable time you had outside? Yeah,
like I said, it was the top collegiates, right, from every sport in this. And I remember in the Athletes Village in Fukuoka, Japan, I remember just playing cards and everybody hanging around, Allen Iverson and Tim Duncan and just all those great basketball greats from college around that time that were out. We're all hanging out in the Athletes Village, just like everybody. We're just collegiates, different sports, right, just hanging. More than just track and field. Right. And so those are some of the things that stand out. When you look back now, they were college, but a couple of years later, these guys are in the NBA and things like that. And just to see how the athletes just have gone to their different sports and professionals.
Wow. Yeah. Man, and I didn't get a chance. In track, I qualified for the 1996 Olympics, and I didn't run. And a lot of people don't know this. I didn't run because I was drafted to the National Football League that same year. And I promise you, if I would have known then what I know now, I would have definitely went run. Because the Olympic Games were in Atlanta that year, so it wasn't far to travel. Yeah. So I missed out on that, and I'm glad you got the opportunity to go and experience all of that fun stuff for USA in those different countries. So after your career, post-career, you're done with track and field, and you're moving on. What is Danyel Mitchell Ruffin into now? And I keep having to say, because I'm reminded you're Danyel Mitchell. That's my friend, my sister. But you were just recently married to Mr. Ruffin, so I have to say Danyel Mitchell Ruffin to pay homage and respect to your husband.
Absolutely.
And so now, what is Danyel Mitchell Ruffin doing today?
Right. So I'm still in healthcare, in IT, actually. When I first came to LSU, that was one of my my majors that I wanted to do computer science. Right. Of course, that changed afterwards. But I've always been intrigued by technology. Always have been. So I landed in healthcare, and I'm doing IT for healthcare.
Well, anytime you want to be able to help me with my iPhone and find all of that stuff, I mean, I have kids that can help me, but if you ever say that, hey man, here's some nuggets for you for your iPhone or for my laptop, I'll be absolutely floored that you help me. Yeah, but all righty. So IT, healthcare, you just recently got married.
I did.
Tell us about that experience in marrying your now husband,
Mr. Ruffin. It was
Mr. Ruffin.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Let me tell you, we had a beautiful wedding at our house, and the weather was great. I mean, it wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. I mean, we had our family and friends there, and it was just awesome.
Yeah.
I think you were out of town, or you were I don't know where you were. Where were you at?
Yeah, I remember the invitation. I remember I was somewhere.
Yeah,
but
you were always busy. But and it was nice. It was a really nice day. It was a beautiful ceremony, and we had a great time, with family and friends, and it's just been a ride. 2023 was a very busy year, with us getting married, building a house. We did a lot last year. Hall of Fame came up. I had a birthday in between, and we were just busy, but it was awesome. We were surrounded by our loved ones, and we were out there at our house, and it was just a beautiful day.
Oh, all right. So you're Mr. Ruffin's best quality that you absolutely, I mean, every quality about him is great, right? But there's one particular thing that really, really helps you light up about who he is as your husband. What's that one thing?
That man is crazy.
He's crazy.
That man is crazy. No, he's funny. He's funny, and he is a social butterfly. And I'm such in awe that he never meets a stranger.
Yeah.
Right? And when you meet him, you will not forget him.
That's right.
And I'm sure you've seen him a few times, and he's just the life of the party, and just great spirit, great personality, and I'm just in awe that he is, he is that person, because, even though I could be the bridge, I'm more just laid back and in the corner. I'm sure I'm more just to chill, and he's just right up front and just all in it, and he is just bold and just fearless.
Well, good. Well, I can absolutely attest to that, because I know the first time I met him, he didn't shake my hand. He gave me a hug.
Right.
And being around all of the guys, and I think the first time I met him, we were at Kevin's house. And when I first met him, and I mean, it was just like he had been part of the track team, all our life. But I enjoy him. I enjoy his company.
Thank you.
So congratulations to you guys for that beautiful wedding and a beautiful career. Couple more things for you. I know what my why is. I wake up in the morning and, I say my prayers. I thank God for waking me up. I thank God that my kids are healthy. And my why is my kids. You know, I want to make sure that my 3 sons, they see their father doing and living with high integrity and character. They see me praying. I pray with them and pray for them. My kids are my why. I can be the calmest, coolest guy you ever meet every day. When it comes to my kids, I go from 1,000 to 100 million in a second about my kids. That's my why. Danyel Mitchell, what is your why?
Right. That is my why. That is also my why. Why I do it every day. Why I get up. You know, my family, my kids, we collectively have children. You know, I have one biological daughter. And for the last 17 years, you know, it's been us, right? And so she was my why. She's my why. You know, I wake up every day for this family, for Dwayne and I, for the kids. And, you know, you just want to be the core. You want to be the rock, right? When you're raising children and you have kids who look up to you and you know, want to understand some of the things that you understand, you want to be that core. You want to be that rock. You want to be that person. It's your comfort, your home. And I want to be that, you know, and I'm not always the vocal one or the outspoken one, but I always want to be the one that, you know, when this world is dark, you know, sometimes you see some real dark things, you know, I want to be the light.
Right.
I want to be the light, you know, for you, for my husband, for my kids, for my family. You know, I'm always telling people, there is a person. There is a person. You know, if you feel like you have nobody, there is a person. I feel like that's my calling. I get a little choked up about that because that means something to me.
Right.
In a world where some people just feel like there's nobody.
Right.
You know, I'm a person. I'm that person. Even if it could be a stranger. You know, sometimes there are strangers just on social media, online, just reaching out, just saying, you know, today I just felt like today was my last day.
Right.
You know, and I'll send a little message. I'll send a little scripture. Or I'll send something just to be a light. You know, and it might be a small light, but you just never know how much that light helps somebody.
Oh boy, you about to get me fired up in there. and I know that's the absolute truth. And I remember you and we were at Kevin's house, and it was the first time that I really got to like sit and just, you know, Anthony Skinner was outside cooking in the pot, you know, under the carport, right? And I sat on the ice chest, and you came and sat down next to me, and you know, it's you and we haven't had a conversation, you know, a long conversation for however many years, and you simply told me, I don't know if you remember or not, you simply said, Eddie Boo, if you ever need Danyel to help with anything, and in particular with Griffin, because you know I have Griffin full time. You said, I don't care what it is, what time of day, what time of night. If you need me, I will show up. And I knew you meant it, and I know that you're genuine, you were genuine, but I will never, ever forget just that little statement that you said. And that means the world to a person like me, because I'm always moving around. And I have a village of people, and you're one of my village people. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that was sincere.
I know it was.
Absolutely sincere.
Yeah, I know it was. Wow. All right. So we don't get emotional or anything. We start crying. I mean, we can, you know, I'm an old crybaby. But for all of our listeners and all of our viewers, just social media, where can our viewers and listeners go and follow Danyel Mitchell on social media?
Well, I don't really do social media
like
that, but
all right.
I'm on Facebook, Danyel
You're
on
right.
Facebook, and at DYELZ1 on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yep.
So go to Danyel and DY's, that's on Facebook, Danyel, DANYEL, right, on Facebook, and your Instagram?
DYELZ.
DYELZ1 on Instagram. Y'all go like and follow her, and you know, send us some good scripture and some uplifting quotes and all of that fun stuff. Danyel Mitchell Ruffin, I thank you so much for being my guest here today on Go To Legends. You're my second guest, and this thing will I get so much joy out of being here and having these conversations with my friends. And I can't thank you enough for being my guest here today.
Thank you for having me. Ed Boo. Thank you
Eddie
for
Boo,
having
that's
me.
right. Well,
Thank
guys,
you.
I appreciate you. I thank you. Go to my YouTube page, all social media. Everything is Go To Legends. Go To Legends on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can like and subscribe and share. It'd be streaming on Apple and Spotify. We thank you for tuning in and listening and watching us. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you go find and follow my friend Danyel Mitchell. If no one has told you today, let me be the first to tell you, I love you with the love of Christ, and there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it. And be a light that shines so bright today that it has the impact to save someone's life. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you soon.
Go To Legends fans, we ask that you subscribe, like, share, tell everybody who's an LSU fan, your uncle, your mom, your dad, your cousin, sister, everybody. Share this with them, have them do the same, and I promise you, y'all won't regret being a part of the Go To Legends podcast.
The struggle, the hustle, the blood, the sweat, the tears from the L's you took, don't forget. Survival of the fittest, the cheers, the rings and bucks, now legendary status, that's what's up. The struggle, the hustle, the blood, the sweat, the tears from the L's you took, don't forget. Survival of the fittest, the cheers, the rings and bucks, now legendary status, that's what's up.